What is going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. What is going on? Bright and early. I'm just going to send out a link to the Discord, and I will check in with you guys in 1 second. Live now. Just make sure that I'm blasting this. All right, cool. Let me go to Twitter. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are ready for a jam-packed show. Going live now to cover CPI inflation data. All right. All right, let's check in and see who is with us. Tweet. And the CPI should be out right now, by the way. So let me switch to this. Let's see who we got. All right, we got a ton of people here. What's going on? Jonas, Soner, Badra, Eric, David Mendez, Surfing Dragon, James, Mike Sanchez, Hans. What's going on, man? Always showing up, my boy Hans. Aisha, what's going on? Jem, Dizzy, Mamoon, Chris, Cloutier, Paul, Nasser, the Pokemanja, what's going on? Daniel, CK, Rhodes, Luke, Chris. Wow, a ton of you in here. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Joe, what's going on, man? Always good to see you, bro. All right, let's check in and see if we have CPI data. I'm also going to open up Squawk Box. What the fuck? Why is it making me log in right now? God damn it. 1 second. 1 second while I sign in. All right. I think we're good. I think we good. Let's see what's going on. All right. Let's hear what they got to say.
Year, if you're looking at the headline.
I think the year over year was weaker, and I suspect a lot of people like myself have been looking at the Cleveland Fed nowcasts, which were suggesting a hotter than expected number. So there's probably a bit of relief that it came in with consensus. You know, in terms of causes for worry, a lot of this still looks like it's driven by energy disinflation. The shelter was still up 0.4 month over month. A lot of those core services seemed like they were still up. It was new cars. It was energy that were really dragging things down. But yes, relief that it didn't come in hotter than expected.
Betsy, how about you? I mean, this is, got to hang your hat on something. And if this is something that we've been hoping for, you know, it's
I think when the data delivers at expectations, you know, it's a pretty good day. Everybody sort of knew what to expect, and that's what happened. I mean, look, used cars, exactly as we expected. That came in at 4.4% for the month. Like, we knew that was going to be hot, and I think it was even hotter than some people expected. On the plus side, what we saw is shelter inflation coming down a tiny bit, and that's one where we're really able to do a pretty good job of forecasting going forward. And I think that we're going to see that shelter inflation continue to come down over the next few months. So I do think that this report says that we're on the path that we need to be on. It's definitely slow. It definitely has some bumps it could hit along the way. But I think that the Fed should continue to feel pretty bullish that their plan is working. The goal was never to bring inflation down rapidly overnight because of the damage that could do to the economy. Their plan is to try to slow inflation. We're not out of trouble yet, right? This is the idea that it's been moving a little bit sideways in recent months, but I think there's a lot of signs on the horizon that it's going to come down further in the coming months.
And Mike, that's certainly the market's reaction, whether you're looking at equities or the yields for the 10-year. I mean, that's the reaction is, okay, maybe the Fed is going to be able to say, this means we can pause for a little bit.
Yeah, and, you know, inflation has already been sort of moving down the lists of things we're most afraid of or that we spend most time worrying about, I think, as we deal with credit contraction from the bank stress and wonder about these leading indicators of recession. So now, big picture, we have the Fed funds rate is now above the rate of headline CPI. Okay, we're a bit above 5% on Fed funds. It seems to clear the way for at least to file the Fed pause, in that list of things that maybe are in the market's favor. So all that stuff works together. And then because inflation is still at this level, and this kind of helps explain why companies have done okay, part of the reason anyway. You have nominal GDP growth, I don't know, call it 6%, even if we have slow real GDP at this moment, or at least last month. So I think that sort of helps you on the top line for the overall economy, which is what companies are feeding off of. So yeah, it doesn't solve all the problems. We know that the credit contraction is a probably disinflationary process if it really does start to kick in. So it feels like we're on the way to being able to get beyond the inflation fixation. In fact, the market reaction over the last few months to the CPI number and PCE numbers has been slightly more muted. It does not seem like that big spring-loaded number that we got used to in 2020.
All right, so just to summarize, CPI year over year came in as expected. CPI core year over year came in as expected. So core came in 5.5%. Obviously now core is above headline CPI. And then we had regular CPI coming in as expected, 5%. And then month over month coming in as expected, 0.4 versus 0.4, which is definitely higher than it was last month, right? So last month we had core CPI as 0.1%, I believe. I'm going to have to go back and look at this. But I think core last month, sorry, was 0.1%. Or sorry, inflation headline was 0.1% month over month. And we are now at, I believe, 0.4% month over month. Yeah. So, it came in as expected, but it is higher month over month than it was last month. So hopefully that makes sense. Sid's vlog, one and done, made 1,500. Were you trading futures? What's crazy is that looking at the markets right now, it looks like it's a muted reaction because it came in as expected. Didn't come in better, didn't come in worse. So does that make sense? At least for now, yeah. Actually, you know what? This is CNBC's site is too hard to read. That means, at least with regards to the 10-year futures, which now I'm likely going to be putting in a trade. And I have two exciting announcements for you guys. One, something that I just decided right now, but I have two exciting announcements for you guys. Also, smash that like button. There's 500 of you here, and there's only 54 likes. That's 10%. That's dismal. Give it a thumbs up. What do you think about a play on Disney today? Yeah, I'll look at Disney today. I'll look at companies that are reporting earnings today, potentially for earnings plays. So hit that thumbs up. That's a shame that there's 500 of you and only 50 likes. Hit the like. And I'm going to go over what I'm looking at in terms of trades. And I have two exciting announcements. One of them I just came up with on the spot right now. So hold your horses for that. But let me look at what the market's reaction is. So ES, as I said, pretty muted, up 0.3%. NASDAQ, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I actually honestly wouldn't be surprised to see anything, whether it's flat, ends the day slightly green, ends the day slightly red. It came in exactly as expected. So that is typically what was priced in. NASDAQ up now 0.4%. And then we have the Dow, which is up 0.18%. And I'm going to take a look intraday to see if, this spike right here is obviously when CPI was announced. So for those of you joining us a little late, CPI comes in exactly as expected, right? So 4.9% year over year, 0.4% month over month. The month over month number was significantly higher than last month, which was 0.1%. All right, so for those of you that are here, and this is only going to last until the live stream is done, remember, it was you guys that spurred the more basic monthly membership option to the Academy. Obviously, we have the actual Academy membership where you get access to the masterminds, you get access to the courses and all the course updates for life. But there is a slimmed down version where you get access to the alerts and the Discord. For those of you that are on here, I'm going to give a, let's call it a 50% discount on the monthlies. And this is going to go away. Just use that coupon code CPI Light. It's at travelingtrader.com/subscriptions. Use coupon code CPI Light for 50% off, something that we've never done before. But again, it's going to go away after this this live stream. So make sure that you use that. In terms of Disney, yeah. So let's look at what are the companies that are reporting earnings today. Let me pull this up real quick. So earnings whispers on Twitter. This is the best earnings site. Let's see what our company's reporting. Oh, and I wonder if you guys can actually see this whole thing. I just realized my screen might be too big because I'm using an external monitor that's humongous. Okay. Earnings whispers. Here is who is reporting today. Most anticipated earnings release. Oh, this is before the open, so that is not going to count. We want to look at who's going to report after the close. They do have a weekly chart somewhere. Hold on. And if you guys aren't following Earnings Whispers, you should. It's the easiest way really to see what earnings are up for any given week. Okay. So we have after the close, Disney, The Trade Desk, Beyond Meat. Wow, that should be fun. Robinhood. So Beyond Meat, Robinhood, Disney, Unity. But the thing is, some of these don't have a ton of options volumes, right? So we definitely want to only trade things that are liquid. But Disney for sure, I think will get a big reaction only because of what's been going on in the headlines with Disney, with Florida, with Bob Iger, with some of their, I think they folded their entire metaverse division because the metaverse was just ridiculous. So let's go ahead and look at Disney. I might take a look at the Trade Desk and Unity. Beyond Meat and Robinhood. Let's see what's what. And for those of you that are joining us late, CPI came in as expected. So Disney is up slightly pre-market. What did it do last earnings? Actually, no, I'm going to take a look at this. All right. So on earnings, and I will get to your questions, don't worry. I didn't get my free hat. James, I got like 1,000 DMs about that. I said I was giving away 5 free hats. If they didn't pick you randomly, they didn't pick you randomly. All right, so here's Disney earnings. Here's the thing that I think some people don't realize when it comes to earnings. When it comes to earnings, if the stock doesn't make the expected move, then most options premiums that are out of the money will get crushed, right? And so people expect to buy calls and puts. I mean, I think there was a recently famous case with FRC. That wasn't an earnings play, but people thought that they would buy puts and make money, and they ended up losing money because of IV crush. So if the stock doesn't make the expected move on earnings and say you have calls or puts, even if you guess the right way, you will get crushed. It has to move past the expected move. Now, you can use something like Market Chameleon to identify what the expected move is, or you could take the at the money straddle and take a quick and dirty ways to take the at the money straddle, take 85% of that and calculate that as the expected move for the stock. But Disney rarely beats the expected move. It did in November, and then November 21, and then August 20. Other than that, if you look at all of the previous earnings, Disney stays within line. So, depending on what Iron Condor premiums look like, I might open up an Iron Condor on Disney in the same way that I did on Tesla, right? Opened up an Iron Condor for earnings because it barely moved. So yeah, that might be the play for Disney. And then Beyond Meat, wow, to take us back to 2020. I was trading Beyond Meat in 2020. I remember that. That stock went up to 100, and it was like no shit. It was 240, and now we're trading at 12 and a half. I might buy calls on Beyond Meat. Don't quote me on that yet. I will definitely send that out in the academy. Again, for those of you just joining us, we just released a coupon code that will only be good for this. That will only be good for this live stream. After this live stream is going away, we've never done this before. 50% off the monthly. So if you are watching this, consider yourself one of the lucky ones. Definitely take advantage of that. But I might buy calls on Beyond Meat. Let me see if it beats the expected move, and then I will get to your questions. And then for those of you that are joining us late, CPI came in line, 0.4% month over month, 4.9% year over year. Core came in at 5.5% year over year. So everything as expected. The market is going to slightly like that, I think. All right. So Beyond Meat tends to have moves. I think from this price level, we will see probably. Yeah. So if we go back to where it was when it was last at this price level was, during earnings was November 2022. So back at that, when it's at that 12 and a half price level, we do tend to see bigger moves. What is its earnings expectations? Minus 1.014. Man, this company never makes money. Yeah, I might buy calls on Beyond Meat, honestly. I'll know towards the end of the day. All right, let me get to your questions. Guys, if you are joining the stream, hit that thumbs up. There's 600 of you here and 200 something likes. Let other people find the stream. That's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying that for shits and giggles. All right, Michelle. Good morning, Michelle. I'm buying TTCF, 3K shares. Oh my God. See, this is how you know we're back at 2020 again. Are buybacks going to increase? Yeah, I think buybacks have been the theme here, for sure. Airbnb got clapped. Yes. What do you think of Li Auto's earnings? I don't know. Do you trust that? I don't know. What do I think of its earnings in what sense? Why did Roblox tank? I'm sure this is a very Googleable answer. If you go to Roblox earnings, you could probably see that their guidance. Okay, Roblox stock sinks after earnings as losses swell. So even though they I guess they beat expectations, their losses continue to mount. 27 cents a share loss and a loss of 160 million. Obviously they saw a spike during the Rona where, kids were at home playing games all day. and they haven't been able to get that back. But yeah, what's your thoughts on rum? In what sense? Now, with the Fed funds rate is higher than headline, how can this affect the market for the short term? This is a very good question. This is a very good question. Is it 50% off for the 35 membership too? No, only the monthly. That's why you should take advantage of it, because now it doesn't even make sense to get the weekly. I have 10 Novavax trying to sell a cover call on E-Trade. When selecting strike, I try to choose price and it says net credit. What is the right way to do this? You definitely don't have enough shares to sell a cover call. You need 100 Novavax, not 10. So you wouldn't be able to do it. But theoretically, if you had 100 shares, you would sell for a credit. Obviously, when you're selling, you're getting a credit. But you don't have enough, so don't click that sell button, because it will just be a naked short call. You need 100 shares to do that. All right, so S&P 500 up 0.8. NASDAQ is up probably 1 point something. Oh, no, 0.88. Cool. Are there any trades in the horizon? Let me look at and see if I can enter a trade here. So far, no. We just have the reaction off of CPI. Obviously, when I'm talking about trades, it's pre-market, so I'm only talking about futures because you can't trade options right now. You have to wait another 40 minutes to trade options. All right. How are FVGs used to help give confluence? Oh my God, Alec, this is a very complex topic that I can't just explain in 2 seconds. It's a whole methodology, because fair value gaps on the chart, you're going to find fair value gaps all day. Like there's a fair value gap, especially depending on the time frame that you're looking at. There's one here. There's a fair value gap here. And by the way, if you join the Discord, if you get access to the Discord, there's this whole education section here, like this entire education section teaching you some of the methodologies that we used to trade, including fair value gaps, including liquidity, etc. Now, I'm not a pure ICT trader. I do use fair value gaps as confluence. But there's a whole education section here that you will have access to in the Discord. And then for those of you that are full Academy members, I am going to be doing an update to the day trading course. And that update is going to include some of the methodologies that I now use in order to trade, because the way that I trade now is definitely not the same as it was 2 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You have to adapt with the market conditions. What is ICT? ICT is a trader who has a certain methodology of trade, who came up with a certain methodology of trading, and fair value gaps is one of those methodologies. Some people use that strategy to the T, and that's all they use. For me, it's a mixture of my own strategy, plus I incorporate some of these ways of identifying certain imbalances, like a fair value gap, right? There isn't any one single strategy. There's only a strategy that works for you. That's a strategy that works for me. So I'm not the best person to talk to about, pure ICT. We definitely have other traders in the Academy who are, but I still use some of the methodologies in my trading when observing levels. But, my point earlier to whoever asked that question was, I think it was Alec, that, fair value gaps, you're going to spot them all over the chart as the day progresses. You don't just take random trades from fair value gaps, right? There has to be a set of confluences. For me, and I go over this in the mastermind, and this is leading me to my second announcement. Sign up. You will see a link in the description for a wait list. We are doing a personal mentorship program for the summer. It's going to be a summer mentorship program. It's going to be super limited. I'm going to be teaching it. We're only going to be taking, depending on the interest, 10 to 20 people. So sign up if you want. You will get further details about it in your email. But it is a summer trading mentorship program. Again, about 10 to 20 people, depending on interest. And it's going to be something that I'm going to be teaching. It's not recorded. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be live. We were thinking of doing this actually live, like in person. There might be an element to that, really depending on logistics and where everybody is. We haven't ironed out the specific details yet, but it is going to be an 8-week program where we meet multiple nights a week, and we go over very intensive trading education. So sign up. You will see that link in the description. Just this is the wait list. Again, there will only be 10 to 20 people selected. So make sure that you sign up if you are interested in that. And I encourage you to. All right. Let me get to your question. Do you think PayPal deserved to crash after earnings? Bro, this isn't a game of this isn't a game of competition. Do I think someone deserved something? It fucking crashed after earnings. This is the market. There is no deserve. Yeah, whatever happened, of course they deserve it, right? PayPal lowered their guidance for Q2, so of course the market is not going to like that. But they did raise their guidance for the year, so I think there will be a bottom to this mayhem. But that did totally crack me up when you said, "Do I think they deserved?" It's not there is no moral. There are no moral victories in the stock market. It's absolute, right? It either happens or it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, PayPal is by any stretch of the imagination overvalued, right? And so is this whole entire space, and anything to do with finance and banking, to be fair, right? So there's a lot of competition in that space, and there's a lot of competition from, for fintech companies in general. There's a lot of competition on the deposit side, which is how banks make money. So if you go to bonds and rates, I mean, look at this. Like, the whole bond market is so broken that the 1 month, and by the way, I did a whole video on YouTube on how to buy treasuries. Check that out. Just Google how to buy treasuries, the traveling trader. You will see it. I go through an entire tutorial on how to take advantage of these insane rates. The 1 month is paying 5.5%. The 2 month is paying 5.1. The 3 months paying 5.2. Like, these are insanely broken yields that people should definitely be taking advantage of, unless you are scared of the U.S. government not being able to pay its debts anymore because of not raising the debt ceiling. But my point is that anything to do with banking is, especially if you're not one of the big boys like JP Morgan, you're going to struggle to keep depositors on your platform. This is why Apple is so smart, and they teamed up with Goldman Sachs, and they're offering 5% or 5.5% up to $250,000, because they came in and just completely, upended the fintech game that was cornered by SoFi and PayPal and a few of the other names. So it is a tough world out there. But yeah, I think PayPal is not that great of a business model. I'll be honest. I would not be excited to own PayPal. I would rather stick to XLF, and own the big boys in banking. We bought XLF off of this support level. It was one of my only buys this year, but we bought it off of the support level a few weeks ago. I had announced that in the academy, but I would much rather take advantage of or own big banks here, who are only strengthening, unfortunately, in terms of their monopoly on on deposits, as regionals are completely taking a beating. But there will be, I think, an opportunity on regional banks as well. I'm after this whole banking mess is over. For the very, very, very long term, I'm looking at KRE, which is the S&P 500 regional banking ETF, for sure. So I'm not looking to buy this now. I think that there's still a little bit more uncertainty with regards to small banks, but I think there is definitely an opportunity there. Meanwhile, Upstart shoots 40%. Man, don't remind me, Al. Don't remind me. I put this out yesterday. I had loaded up a strangle on Upstart, buying the 17 call and the 12 put. And remember, strangles only work if the stock makes the expected move, and obviously Upstart makes the expected move. That strangle would have been up 200 to 300%, and I had it loaded up, and I decided not to take it, only because we had CPI coming, and I'm like, that's some uncertainty, in the market. Like, I had a good idea that Upstart would potentially beat the expected move in either direction. I didn't know if it was going up or down, but I knew it would beat the expected move, and that strangle was gonna make money. Do you follow Jeremy, aka Jenny? She may be a genius. Not sure who Jeremy Jenny is. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't get the reference. Aisha, that's awesome. Course update. Yes, if you are part of the academy, any courses that we come out with, and this is the full-fledged academy, not the basic monthly, but any courses that come out, you will get the updates to, for sure. Are you still bearish? I was never bearish, Al. I was never bearish. I was uncertain, for sure. I wasn't, for me, as I keep saying time and time again, for me, there's no reason to be overly bullish or overly bearish, as the S&P 500, if you look at it, has been trading in this 4,200 to 3,800 range for over a year now, right? We had a blip above, which I think we will get to this 4,300 now, on the S&P 500. But we had a blip above when CPI peaked in August 2022, and we had a blip below in October when we hit those October lows. But I'm neither bullish nor bearish at this point. We've been in a sideways chop for over a year. That's why it's so funny to me when, every time the market tanks, bears celebrate. Every time the market rockets, bulls celebrate. But look at it. It's basically just a sideways range. This is the longest sideways range, by the way, in any bear market in history. I went back and I looked it up. So I'm really not bullish or bearish. I do think that CPI coming in line is as expected. I would have liked to see it come in lower than expected, for me to be truly bullish. I do think that, it'll be at least a year before the Fed hits their 2% mark. I don't think inflation is going to go from 5% to 2% by the end of the year. I think it'll be 2024. So until that happens, there could be more things that are going to break, and we still have no idea. And I guess we could check that now, in light of the CPI coming in, what the expectations that the Fed is going to do in June slightly rised from 78% to 85% that the Fed pauses. So now a pause is priced in, which means, and for those of you that are in the academy, you know that this means that the 2-year futures are on deck. And I'm definitely looking to buy the 2-year futures from here. For me, this is the easiest trade. And for those of you that are in the academy, feel free to put that in the chat, because we've traded this multiple times, for at least $1,000 per contract every single time. And now if the Fed pauses, my thesis is that this eventually is going to rocket up. So I'm definitely going to start building a pretty big position in ZT in the 2-year futures, for sure. And I'm glad that I bought a ton of treasuries a couple days ago as the yields were spiking, because I don't think the yields are going to go up any further if the Fed pauses, unless obviously we get a black swan event where the rates absolutely crush something in the economy or the banking system that is yet unforeseen. For sure. How do you trade the 2-year bond? Don't get things mixed up. How do you trade the 2-year bond versus how do you trade the 2-year futures are completely different. If you want to learn how to buy bonds, refer to my last video. I literally released a whole tutorial on YouTube. Oh, and shout out to do you guys see what this shirt is? Let me sit back real quick. That's a Nancy Pelosi trader tee, best trader in the game. But I did a whole tutorial on how to buy bonds. So if you're asking how do you invest in bonds, refer to that video. If you're asking how do you buy the 2-year futures, you have to have a platform that allows you to trade futures. So TD Ameritrade, Interactive Brokers, Tradeovate, and some other ones. I know that Fidelity doesn't have futures. I'm not entirely sure about Schwab, although Schwab now owns TD Ameritrade, so it would under TD Ameritrade. But you would need an account that's eligible to trade futures, which you have to apply for, and then the futures contract is or the futures ticker is ZT. Okay, I've got IBKR. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, Wayne. You do have to apply it to trade futures through IBKR. Having IBKR is not enough. And for those of you joining us late, few things. CPI came in line, 0.4% month over month. 4.9% year over year. Month over month is higher than it was last month, but all numbers coming in as expected. I do think that the market is going to go. The S&P is likely going to pop to that 4,300 level. As I've been saying, if earnings don't disappoint and if CPI comes in line, this target here is very doable. It's a target that we hit in August out of extreme exuberance. So yeah, in terms of, if you guys remember, for those of you that have been with us for a while, I ended up selling a lot of my holdings that I bought in October, that we bought in the Academy in October. I ended up selling a lot of them in February, which is the same level that we are now. If we do get, like I was saying, if earnings disappointed or if CPI disappointed, I would have expected us to get back to that 3,800 level. We are not. I don't. So far, there isn't any reason to be overly bearish, and I do think that 3,800 to 4,200 level is still the range that we'll trade in. Although now I do think that we could get to the 4,300 resistance based on what's going on with CPI, based on the pause that we see next month, which is more than likely, right? All right, Tasty Trade has futures, yes. Although that platform is crashes for me on the Mac quite a bit. I do want to get to some of your guys' donations to St. Jude's. You guys are awesome for that. Hans, appreciate your $20 donation. Thank you so much, man. And then let's see. William, which site were you on to check the expected move? It's called Market Chameleon. You certainly don't need it, but for me, it is the easiest way to monitor all of the earnings up front. Like, in order to see a view like this, it would take an hour of research, right? To go back into every single earnings and look whether it beat the expected move or didn't beat the expected move. It would take an hour of research for every single company, whereas now I could just go in, type in the ticker that I want, and look at the earnings. You should see a discount. There should be a discount in the description of this video, so take advantage of it if you want to get it. For me, I can't live without it when I'm trading earnings, because again, just pulling all this up, like the last 12 earnings, did it beat the expected move? What was the expected move? What is the average implied volatility crush after earnings, right? So I could see that Disney here typically has an IV crush of 24%, which is something I could take into account when designing options trades for earnings, right? So yeah, it's called Market Chameleon. All right. If you have time, would you go over how to trade ZT? I just did. Like what part of that? Just ask me a specific question, so I'm not repeating myself. Upstart up 60% this week. I know, streamer Abby. I know, dude. I know. I had the fucking strangle loaded up yesterday. Tommy Luck, thank you so much for your $10 donation. I appreciate you. Are we gonna have another January this year? What is January? I don't know what you mean. I just received my salary. Which stocks would you buy right now? PayPal looks quite. I mean, bro, that's not how the market works, man. Like, if you guys don't have yet the tools to determine which are good companies for you versus not, just put your money in an index fund, bro. Just put it in an ETF, a high-paying ETF, a high dividend-paying ETF, like is it SHC? Oh my God, my SCHD. Yeah. So put it in SCHD, or this is a high dividend-paying ETF, or just put it in the VU or the SPY. Like, no need to overcomplicate things. You know what I mean? Put it in an index fund. This isn't like, if you have no criteria for how to pick stocks yet, because everyone can learn. But if you have no criteria for how to pick stocks yet, don't turn this back into 2022, where people are buying the dip on stocks that they don't quite understand why they're overvalued, or don't really understand their business model, or don't really have conviction. And they're just like, oh, this seems cheap enough. It used to be this, and now it's this. Let me go ahead and buy, right? Like, Beyond Meat was 200 something. Now it's $12.50. QuantumScape, which we had an epic short on QuantumScape. We shorted it from 10 to 6 and change. I love that short. It was amazing, even though it took a while to play out. QuantumScape was trading at 130, is currently $6. Like, same thing with PayPal, right? Like, when you're asking about PayPal, I'm sure you haven't looked at whether it's overvalued. What is its price to sales? What is its price to earnings? What is its guidance? How much cash flow does it have? How much cash does it have on its balance sheet? What is it projected to earn? What is it projected to grow? You're just looking at PayPal and you're like, oh, this is a name that I know. It used to trade at 300. It tanked. Now I want to buy the dip, right? And do you know how many people, and I'm sure some of you on this call, got burned buying the dip on PayPal at 230, buying the dip on PayPal at 180, buying the dip on PayPal at 150, buying the dip at 100, buying the dip at 150, buying the dip at 100, and now it's at 66. Like, don't just guess your way into stocks, bro. Like, this is your hard-earned money, right? This is your hard-earned money. You're talking about your paycheck. You started off asking me, I just got my salary. This is your fucking salary, dude. Don't mess around with it. You want to put your hard-earned money into something, do the research, and see whether the company is good for you. Don't just randomly pick ticker symbols. And I'm sorry to be crass and honest, but you won't get that from anyone else in this space, on YouTube at least. Do your research. Look at PayPal. See whether, does it look overvalued? Why is its valuation? Why is it trading at 14 times earnings? Right? Why is it trading at almost 2.5 times, or sorry, almost 2.7 times sales? Has it reported a profit? If it has, is it expected to grow? Is it paying a dividend, et cetera? Like, look up this stuff. And I'm not saying PayPal is bad. It's just, don't casually put your hard-earned money to waste. And if you haven't yet determined how to evaluate a company, which, if you look in the education section on the Discord, I have an entire section here on how to evaluate a company, how to value a stock, deep dive, right? This is a free PDF that you will get. And for those of you that are just joining, click that coupon code. You will not see this coupon code after this live stream. We're taking it off after this live stream. It's your only chance to get the monthly at 50% off. But use that coupon. CPI is a lie. But there's a section in here, how to value a stock, right? If you're not there yet, bro, there is no shame whatsoever in saying, you know what? I have no idea. I'm just going to invest in a S&P 500 ETF, right? That's it. And put your money there until you increase your skills. There's nothing wrong with that. But put your money in something that is actually going to grow for certain over the years, right? Like, I'm always bullish on the US stock market long term. Always bullish. This is, if you look at the S&P 500, this is how it looks all the time. It's just one long curve up over the long term. So put your hard-earned money in something certain, like the US broad-based stock market. Learn how to value a company, and then start picking companies. Don't just start picking companies for the fuck of it. But it's your money. Z, do an analysis on Tesla. Yeah, I have to do the pre-trade, pre-market stuff for the Discord anyway. Muhammad Mukhtar donated 10 pounds to St. Jude's. Appreciate you, brother. Cybertruck Duo. What's going on, Omar? Hope you were enjoying that Tesla, bro. You finally got it. Market will react positive. Yeah, I think that the market is definitely positively reacting. And I think that 4,300 level on the S&P 500 is definitely doable now, unless Jerome Powell comes in June and does another raise, which is not expected anymore. For zero date, what delta to choose for puts and calls? To do a credit spread? Ooh, Marie, based on this question, I would not trade zero DTE. Just based on how you framed it. Zero DTE is not for the faint of heart. And zero DTE for the rest of you means 0 days to expiration, right? I would not trade 0 days to expiration until you get your feet wet. I don't do a credit spread on 0 days to expiration, and it's not based off of delta. When I'm trading 0 days to expiration, I'm day trading what is going on in the market. So I'm buying calls and puts on SPX, usually, based on my day trade levels in the market. And it's not based off of delta. It's based off of the price and whether I think that whether I think the S&P 500 can approach that strike price well before the market closes, so I don't get killed by theta, right? This is very interesting here. So the market now is up 0.72. It was up 0.9, maybe potentially a bit higher while we were talking. But this right here is interesting to me. I want to see if this right here becomes the high of the day. Because remember, CPI didn't come in good. It came in exactly as expected. So if we had beat, then I would expect to see a 2 to 3% day across the board on all the indices. In this case, this I do think I would, as I said earlier, I would not be surprised to see a slightly green day or a flat day, or even a slightly red day by end of day. Right? I don't think the move is going to be extreme. Obviously, I'm not Nostradamus. Just based on the fact that we are at that near that 4,200 level, and CPI came in line. So now that we see this wick here pre-market, and the market will open in 10 minutes, I wonder if this is a liquidity grab or not. So now I'm monitoring this. There are still no trades for me, right? Like if you were to just play a straight up breakout of this level, right? The only way is if you front ran a bullish trade above this level and said, I'm just going to buy the S&P 500 above this level, or the NASDAQ or whatever. But there are no A+ setups yet, right? SCHD and VU high yield. No, VU's not high yield. SCHD is high yield. JEPI is high yield. VU is just a regular index ETF that does pay a dividend. And again, for those of you joining us a little bit late, one, hit that thumbs up. There's a lot of you here. Hit that thumbs up so that other people find the stream, and let me know that you're getting something valuable out of this. And I'm doing a summer mentorship. You will see that link in the description. Make sure you get your ass on the wait list, because there will only be 10 to 20 spots where I'm going to be teaching a class personally throughout the summer. We will look to potentially add a live component depending on logistics and where everybody is. But it is going to be an interactive live, for now at least, on Zoom. An 8-week course going into, and it's going to be an intimate setting, 10 to 20 people. I'm going to personally teach you guys how to trade, how to do technical analysis, and take your trading to the next level. Put your name on that wait list, because once spots are up, spots are up. And again, we're only selecting 10 people, might push it to 20 depending on the response that we get and what my team can do with the logistics. So make sure you do that. And this is the first time that we announced that, by the way. Can we get Korean BBQ meetup for locals? Yeah. You know what's so funny? I'm actually going to Korean barbecue tonight. But yes. Z, I purchased them on the Discord, blah, blah, blah. Is there any way I can get the 50% off? Yeah, just use that code for the next month. I love your content, Z. Stay a real one. Appreciate you. CEO Fishing. At which section of your Discord, paid alerts for members? Dude, there's a whole section here that tells you, and I did a cute little video showing you an entire walkthrough of the Discord. But there's the stock alerts, there's the options, futures, there's the day trades. So basically in this section here, stocks, options, futures, day trades, you will see that. And then obviously the weekly analysis, where I go over broad-based analysis of the markets. Really wondering whether this is the top of the day. I'm considering taking, if we break market structure, I'm definitely considering taking, and we have already, I guess, I'm considering taking a short from here. I might have to do it off of the 3-minute. Yeah. I will consider taking this depending on where this stops at. I'm going to draw my fib and see if we can get confluence with the fib as well as I'm considering taking this here. with the very tight stop. Let me draw out the trade and lead by example, because I tell you guys to do this all the time. If the RR isn't there, do not take the trade. This is about a 1.6 to 1 trade. Not super happy with 1.6. I would much rather have 2. 1.5 is bare minimum. Might take it. I don't know. We have all day. We'll see. Enjoy the ride. Push it higher. Z, can you quickly look at McDonald's chart? Z stocks and options have not been alerted for 3 weeks. What are you tripping, bro? What are you talking about? Yesterday, yesterday. Yesterday. What are you talking about, bro? You must be looking at it at a different Discord. Yeah, in terms of like buying stocks, of course, dude. That's like the least activity. You're not buying stocks every day, dude. You're buying stocks at key levels. And you're just holding them. You don't buy stocks every day. But in terms of day trades, no, we're day trading all day. Do you have to be at a certain level in your trading journey for the summer mentorship? This is a very good question. Very, very, very good question, Mike. And the goal is to take you to the next level. Do you have to be at a certain level? I would say no, you don't have to be at a certain level. There will be likely a questionnaire that you will have to answer once you sign up for the wait list. Obviously, getting on the wait list is absolutely free. Noor, no audio for me. Yes, there's fucking audio, bro. Yes, there's audio. All right. People aren't responding to me. They're not reading my lips. Obviously, there's audio. Hit the power button on your speakers, bro. Is there auto payment? Wait, sorry. You asked me, is there a certain level that you have to be in your trading journey? No. I mean, the goal is to take everybody to the next level, right? The goal is to take everybody to the next level. So, no, but you will have to fill out a questionnaire. That is how we're going to be selecting the 10 people, right? Based on the questionnaire. So, yeah. How much is the membership? Click on the link, bro. Just click on the link, go through it, see which one is right for you, and you'll know. Are we bringing back the day trade watch list to the Discord? No, because breakout trading is not nobody breakout trades, right? And in my view, you shouldn't be breakout trading. Those are not A+ setups. Now, what we are doing in lieu of that is I'll send out, the market opens in 2 minutes. I'll send out key levels, right, for each stock, as I did here yesterday. Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Lucid, right, PayPal, and Airbnb. That's what I was looking at yesterday. So it's much more interactive where I'm drawing out the levels on the chart as opposed to, saying buy calls above this level or puts below this level. In my view, you will get killed trading like that in this environment. And those of you that have tried to trade like that know that. However, we do have a coach, and she does trade like that. And she sends this out every morning. So the breakout levels, if you are a breakout trader, are right here. And she even sends out what the average true range is for each stock, right? So if you are still interested in breakout levels, go to coaching and follow her alerts. But for me and the way I trade, I'm not going to lead you down a path that I think is not really conducive to the way that the market trades now. And the way that I trade, I look at key levels and I try to see what the response is from the price, and then take the entry off of a retracement, right? I think it's much better to see it on the chart like this than just say calls above 250, puts below 240. Like you're going to get killed trading like that. In regards to locals, what state are you in? I'm in California. Do I need a big account to trade? No. You do need experience and make sure that you have a job. Like I always tell people, your job is one of your best tools. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up so that other people find the stream. But your job is one of your best tools in your trading journey, right? How are you shouldn't look at trading as I have $200 and I'm just going to use this. You're not going to learn how to trade that way. And I'm just being honest with you. You are not going to learn how to trade that way. You have to have a consistent income that you continuously bring in. And if you only have a small lump sum to trade with now, don't trade. Do not trade. Work on building up your capital and then learn how to trade in the meantime, and then start trading with the money that you use, or with the money that you're earning. But if you're just like, oh, I have a little bit of money and that's what I want to use to trade, no, don't trade, because you're going to be doing stupid shit, trying to exponentially multiply or increase that amount, right? Like if I only had $200 to trade with and I wasn't bringing in any money, this for me is a potential short here. But I don't like the RR that much. I was hoping this would be a 2-to-1 RR trade. Not too happy with this RR. It would have to extremely, like if we can get down to potentially fill most of this line here, then the RR might be good. But yeah, I mean, if you have what is RR? Risk to reward. But if you just have a small amount of money, you're going to be doing stupid shit trying to exponentially increase that, right? You're not going to be doing smart things. But if you have a regular stream of income coming in and you're not worried about this little amount of money that you have, then you're going to be trading responsibly and optimally. But if you only have a few $100s and you're not bringing in any more money to trading, then you're going to be doing really risky stuff to try to turn that 200 into 2,000. It's just, it's not, it just doesn't work. But do you need a big account in general? No, but as long as you have money coming in and you have an income source and, you know, a side hustle or whatever you need to do, then you should be fine. All right. Let me see if I can get an easier look off of the off of the 2-minute here. God damn it. I should have had my trading platform loaded already. That's my only gripe with Thinkorswim is it takes up too many resources. All right, 1 second. I will bring back the screen. Yeah, I would totally short this here, and I might do that just now. From this level, like now I'm in the 2-minute. I mean, yeah, now I'm in the 2-minute, 41.69. Oh my God, my computer's so slow right now. Let me pull up the fib. Let's see what the RR is on the trade. To get to here is about 1.25 to 1. I don't love this trade, but I don't hate it either. It's just I wish I had a better RR. And, you know, unless we get back down to this consolidation area, in which case this trade would be 3 to 1. Which also happens to coincide with VWAP. But while this is going, you know, the point is when you're taking trades, you have to map out your risk to reward beforehand. And it doesn't really matter. Like I don't care the number of trades that I win. Is the RR profitable? You know, in every one of those trades, and are my losses minimized? Now, in this case, we have to get below this imbalance here because we could easily see this bounce and shoot up. You know, in reality, waiting for this to be broken is probably more prudent because we could see this bounce and move up. But, you know, if you have a tight stop above here, you don't have too much to worry about. All right, let me get to your questions, and we will monitor this. Can you do analysis on Palantir? Jesus. How does the horizon look for the Dixie? I think the dollar is in a huge head and shoulders on the daily, right? Yeah. I mean, if it loses this level, all right, let me go back and look at this trade. Hold on. I could close this technically because we are up 175 on this. So I could close this. I only took one contract because 200 now. I might close this. But I really want to see us break below this level. If I had multiple contracts, then I would close one, take runners, etc. But when I'm trading live and trying to talk about CPI, ooh, there it is. I hope we close below this. 350 now. I'm going to flatten this. 362.50 on that trade. That was the short. And I wish I took multiple contracts. But when I'm live and trying to talk about CPI and do chart analysis for you guys, it's very hard for me to try to answer your questions and trade live. Like, I should just do a live trading session where I don't talk about anything else but trading. But we took profit there at the 1.5 RR level, right? Which was this consolidation level here. Ultimate, if I have multiple contracts, ultimate profit taking would be at VWAP. But we nabbed close to $400 in a few seconds there. So, hopefully you guys caught that trade live. Why did I feel that the SPY would dump? It's not a feeling. It's based on the way that I trade. As I always say, you know, you want to wait for structure to break. You want to wait for a retracement, and then you want to take that trade down. Nice. Mark said 3 contracts. Amazing, dude. I should have done more contracts, honestly. I just did the one, and I do think there is a chance that we get the VWAP. But that was definitely the trade in the day. Is it worth staying in the short? If you're asking, do not trade. Do not day trade if you're asking, honestly. Know this before you're taking the trade, okay? Know this before you're taking the trade. Don't get in the trade and then start asking if you should stay in or not. Always have this mapped out before you take the trade, right? My first take profit was here. If I did have more than one contract, my second would be at this level where we have consolidation and VWAP. Wow, that should have easily been at least 3K on the day. But I am doing this live stream, right? And I don't like to risk it when my attention span is not fully on there. What a trade. Are you connecting to TOS on TradingView? No. I have Thinkorswim right here. It's in a different window. You cannot connect TOS to TradingView. Wow, fuck. Called this live. This is where I would take profit completely out here. VWAP plus consolidation, and then you can re-enter if we get a retracement back up. What a trade. What a trade. Fully out 2K net. That's awesome, Mark. That is awesome. But yeah, I mean, this is what we do every single day in the academy. And then literally spend the rest of the day breaking down the trade, answering people's questions about it. Woo, what a fucking dump. I mean, Mark and whoever took this trade, obviously, don't feel bad for getting out, because that was the optimal exit, right? I'm just glad we took the exact short spot. Like, you can see where my initial entry is right here. Right where we topped out. It keeps going. Yeah, we could see a retracement here, Alec. But we also have this huge imbalance pre-market to address. For those of you just joining us, we just took a trade live shorting the S&P 500 from here. What a trade. Did you take the first contract OTM? No, futures is not like options. There's no concept of OTM. You just you're either shorting it or you're longing it. It trades much more like a stock. Yeah, this is around the area that we might face some support. We have this huge imbalance here. Sean Anderson says, literally just called an amazing trade on live for free. Yeah, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah. I mean, sorry if I was quiet and not engaging during that time, but when I saw it, I was speechless. Could you use that imbalance to imply that if we reach those levels, we could use volume? I mean, now you're getting into tinfoil hat world. I'm just playing. You guys know my motto, right? If it works for you, I will not argue with your strategy. Okay. But for me, and by the way, for that trade, hit that thumbs up. And if you want more trades like this, hit that thumbs up. Reagan Baker says, great trade, got 10 contracts out of that. Love it. Appreciate you, man. That's amazing. Yeah, I should have made minimum 3K on that trade. That would have been a minimum 3K trade if I wasn't on live entertaining y'all. Look at NQ forming the same setup. NQ likely already made, like, they move in tandem, right? So I bet you if I look at NQ, the setup has already been made. You're one of the few real ones on YouTube. Love your advice and wisdom. I appreciate you, Anthony. In my humble opinion, nobody has the versatility that we do. Like, obviously, we're covering macro topics. We're covering bond investing. You know, we're covering interest rates, but then at the same time, we're also able to day trade. Most people either do one or the other, right? Fair play to everyone who took that contract. Sup, Gunmetal? Pepe works for me. Yes, Gunmetal. I'm gonna YOLO Pepe coin and then blame you if it doesn't work out. I mean, Gunmetal, tell me why I shouldn't throw one entire Bitcoin into Pepe right now. I mean, look at this. 2,400% on Pepe? Is that how much it went up? Shut the fuck up. Bro, you're talking about bottom to peak. You really got in early and sold at the top? Or maybe you were using like leverage or something. And by the way, in light of that awesome trade that we just did, I will teach you how to trade like this. I will make it my personal mission to get you from wherever the fuck you are right now in terms of your skill level to this over the summer, over the 8 weeks. I will make it my personal mission. So make sure you sign up to this because 10 lucky ones. See, Willy Wonka only gave away 5 golden tickets, right? We're giving away 10. So 10 lucky ones will be selected. But I will make it my personal mission to teach you how to trade like this, which is something that we do every day. Anyway. CS Pill, stop spamming, bro. I'm going to put you on mute. Aisha, $50. Thank you so much to your $50 donation to St. Jude. Always appreciate you watching, Aisha. Always appreciate you donating. See, that was the retrace. But if I'm being honest, I would not have taken this trade on this light retrace. There's too much of an imbalance here. The initial move was the golden move. We will likely get maybe one more move like that. How much is it for the mentorship? Just sign up. You will get the details sent. I don't know. I don't run these things. Whatever my team decides. Would love to be one of the 10 if not too expensive. If I'm being honest, it will probably be expensive, if I'm being honest. You know, I'm running it for the entire summer, and I will be your instructor for the summer. Awesome. Glad to see so many people. Mark took partials 2 already. VWAP fun. Awesome to see a lot of you taking that trade. But yeah, I will go over this. But basically this right here, as I was signaling to you earlier on the call, this looked like a liquidity wick, right? Read the white papers. I'll send them to you. No, dude. No. This is not 2017. I don't want to read no white papers. Appreciate it. Don't send me any white papers. Plus, we already have a couple of crypto experts in the academy, right? That only deal with crypto. Been in your Discord since 2021. Discount? You already got a discount. If you've been there since 2021, you're grandfathered in. There is no better discount than that. And I promised you guys that we're in there from the beginning. I will honor your rate for life. And no one will ever see that rate again. So you are at the max discount. So you're telling me there's a chance. Thank you so much, Z. Yeah, appreciate you, Mikhail. Hopefully you took that trade. This is gearing up to be a nice volatile day, and I don't want to miss more trades. Definitely going to be trading with the rest of the crew in the academy. Should have taken that ZT entry. Wanted to build a position. I think ZT will go up from here for sure. Especially if the Fed doesn't raise. How do you feel how the Nasdaq is looking? I see more upside. Yeah, the Nasdaq is somewhat Dina Del Sol discount for the mentorship. I don't know. I mean, there will likely be thousands of people on the wait list. So, assuming that it's a big assumption that you're going to be one of the 10 selected. Really, honestly, it's a questionnaire that my team is going to put together. They're going to vet everybody. I'm just there to teach people how to trade. Okay. I'm not even doing the selection process. I don't want to have anything to do with that. They come up with the products, and I just sing and dance for y'all. That's how it goes. The Nasdaq. This is actually a nice setup on the Nasdaq now too. Fuck. If this was sell side liquidity, if this was a liquidity wick, oh, this would be a nice setup for a long. But I wouldn't take it unless I caught the bottom of this. It's too risky. But in terms of larger Nasdaq analysis, gunmetal, yeah, Nasdaq has a somewhat different but similar long-term resistance that it hit in August 22, same time that the S&P did. So around 13,750 is what I see potential upside for the Nasdaq. But then if the Fed pauses, this can easily run more. And by the way, the Nasdaq gunmetal is now in a confirmed bull market. Right? It's, I think if you take bottom to top, yeah, I mean, we are now, 27% up from the bottom. So we are in technically a bull market on the Nasdaq. Guys, hit that thumbs up, especially if you're on your way out. Hit that thumbs up. Are we in golden pocket now? Calls? I don't know. What are you talking about, Jason? GameStop analyze? No, I'm not analyzing GameStop. There's no analysis on GameStop. You either are in it or you're not, but you're not gonna TA GameStop. All right. I'm not looking for shorts anymore until we fill this imbalance. And then depending on how we do it, and whether we take liquidity, I might be looking for longs thereafter. I wish I caught the bottom of this. If I had caught the bottom of this, I would have likely Wow, this is a 7. This is a 7-to-1 trade if I caught the bottom of this. Fuck. All right. Is Tesla a good short? Let me look. In the short, to me, I don't see a good setup yet on Tesla. On the daily, is it a good short? There's nothing to indicate an A plus short here. Plus, you have this gap that takes you up to like 178. Yeah. Plus, this pattern right here would be hard for me to short. What is it called? Evening star? Morning star? God, I need to brush up on my patterns. But this is a bullish pattern here. Yeah, nothing to indicate that. I have Tesla 155 May 19 puts. Why? I was watching the fib after the flush. Did pre-market lie to high to check levels? Did pre-market lie to high? Did pre-market low to high to check levels? Oh, all right. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out and trade with the rest of the crew in the academy. Wow. Yeah, what a great trade. What a great trade. Shout out to you guys that took this trade with me, took it live with me. Two things before we head out. If you want this code right here for the monthly is going to go away after the stream. So make sure you take advantage of it now. And two, summer mentorship program. I'm going to select 10 of you. Sign up. The wait list is in the description below. Other than that, wow, this looks like this looks like a great day to trade. I can't wait to trade the rest. All right, for those of you in the academy, I will see you guys in the academy. Thank you guys so much for joining. Appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Hopefully you got something out of this. Leave a thumbs up on your way out. Please do so that other people find this even after we end the stream. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.